It is late. The day is finally done. You have worked hard. You have given your energy to your tasks, your family, your goals. Your body feels heavy with a day's efforts, a deep and honest tiredness that settles into your bones. You pull back the covers, you adjust your pillow, and you close your eyes ready for the sweet relief of sleep. But then, it begins. A thought flickers to life, then another, and another. Suddenly your mind is not winding down, it is revving up, starting a marathon you never signed up for. The quiet of the room only makes the noise in your head seem louder, a relentless replay of conversations, a detailed preview of tomorrow's worries, and a critical review of everything you wish you had done differently. This experience is so common, yet it can feel incredibly isolating. You lie there, staring into the darkness, feeling the minutes and then the hours slip away. You know you need to rest. You know that tomorrow demands your focus and your energy. This knowledge only adds another layer of pressure, another anxious thought to the ever-growing pile. I must sleep now, you tell yourself, which of course only makes sleep feel further away. It is a frustrating paradox. The more you chase sleep, the faster it runs. Your mind becomes a courtroom where you are both the prosecutor and the defendant, endlessly debating cases that have no immediate resolution. Welcome. If this scene feels familiar to you, know that you are not alone on this journey. So many of us, especially those of us who lead busy, demanding lives, find ourselves in this exact position night after night. Our days are filled with doing, achieving, and problem solving, and it can be difficult to find the off switch when it is time to simply be. The purpose of our time together today is to offer you a gentle hand, to guide you away from that midnight mental chaos and toward a place of calm and genuine rest. We will explore simple, practical, and compassionate ways to soothe your overthinking mind. The solutions we will discuss are not about fighting your thoughts or forcing them into submission. That struggle is what keeps us awake. Instead, we are going to learn how to understand our thoughts, how to create space from them, and how to gently guide our minds toward a state of peace. We will explore why this happens, what is going on in our brains, and most importantly, what we can do about it, starting tonight. These are not complex theories, but simple, actionable steps you can weave into your life. Think of them as lullabies for your mind, helping it find the quiet it needs to drift into deep, restorative sleep. Have you ever wondered why the moment your head hits the pillow seems to be the exact moment your brain decides to host a town hall meeting? It is a fascinating and often frustrating phenomenon. Throughout the day, your mind is constantly bombarded with information, tasks, and stimuli. You are in meetings, answering emails, navigating traffic, making decisions. Your focus is directed outward, engaged with the world around you. This constant engagement acts as a powerful distraction, keeping the deeper, more reflective parts of your brain in the background. Your mind is in doing mode, efficiently moving from one task to the next without much time for introspection. When nighttime arrives, everything changes. The external world fades away, the distractions cease, the lights go out, the sounds quiet down, and you are finally alone with your thoughts. This sudden shift from a high-stimulus environment to a low-stimulus one is like closing all the doors and windows of a busy shop. Suddenly, you can hear the quiet hum of the refrigerator, the creak of the floorboards, and the inner workings of the store itself. Similarly, your brain, no longer occupied with external demands, turns its attention inward. It finally has the space and silence to begin its own important work of processing the day. This nightly processing is a natural and necessary function of the brain. It is the time when your mind sorts through the day's events, files away memories, and attempts to make sense of unresolved issues. Think of it as your mind's nightly administrative work. It is reviewing the files from the day, flagging items that need follow-up, and trying to tidy up the mental workspace. The problem arises when this process becomes loud and unruly. If your day was filled with stress, unresolved conflicts, or a long list of unfinished tasks, your brain's filing system goes into overdrive, presenting you with every single urgent file just as you are trying to clock out. This is especially true for busy professionals. Your entire day is structured around solving problems and planning for the future. Your brain becomes highly trained in this mode of operation. It does not automatically know how to switch off this problem-solving, forward-planning function just because it is 11 p.m. The lingering stress from a difficult meeting, the anxiety about an upcoming deadline, or the weight of a personal worry, these are the things that your brain latches onto in the stillness of the night. It is not trying to sabotage your sleep, it is simply continuing the job you have trained it to do all day long. To truly understand how to calm our minds, it helps to look at the science behind these nightly thought loops. Our brains have different networks that activate for different tasks. When you are focused on a specific activity like reading this essay or solving a puzzle, you are using what is called the task-positive network. It is your brain's focus mode. However, when your mind is at rest and not focused on any particular external task, like when you are lying in bed trying to sleep, a different network takes over. This is known as the default mode network, or DMN. It is the part of your brain associated with self-reflection, thinking about the past, and imagining the future. The default mode network is not inherently bad. It is crucial for creativity, self-awareness, and planning. It is the network that helps you connect disparate ideas and have those aha moments. The challenge, however, is that for many of us, the DMN has a strong negativity bias. When it activates in the quiet of the night, it often defaults to replaying our mistakes, worrying about potential future problems, and ruminating on our insecurities. It becomes a highlight reel of our anxieties. This is why you might find yourself obsessing over something you said in a meeting 5 hours ago, or catastrophizing about a project that is weeks away. This tendency is magnified when we experience stress or anxiety. Anxiety acts like a powerful fuel for the default mode network. When you are anxious, your brain's threat detection system, the amygdala, is on high alert. It signals to the rest of your brain to be on the lookout for danger. When the DMN kicks in at night, it takes these signals from the amygdala and starts weaving stories of what could go wrong. This creates a vicious cycle. Anxiety activates the DMN generates more worrisome thoughts, and these thoughts create more anxiety, making it nearly impossible to relax enough to fall asleep. This connection between anxiety and sleep problems is well documented. Poor sleep can increase anxiety levels the next day, and higher anxiety levels make it harder to sleep the following night. It becomes a self-perpetuating loop that can be difficult to break. Understanding this mechanism is the first step toward changing it. By recognizing that it is a brain network doing what it is designed to do, albeit in an unhelpful way, we can start to depersonalize the experience. It is not that you are bad at sleeping. It is that your default mode network is overactive. The techniques we will explore are designed to gently disengage this network and guide your brain toward a more restful state. One of the most effective and beautifully simple ways to quiet an overactive mind is to give it what it wants, a chance to be heard. But instead of letting it shout at you in the dark, you can provide a structured outlet for it. This is the practice of a brain dump. About an hour before you plan to go to sleep, sit down with a simple notebook and a pen. The goal here is not to write a perfectly structured journal entry, but to get everything, and I mean everything, that is swirling around in your head out of your mind and onto the paper. It is a process of mental decluttering. Start by writing down any unfinished tasks that are bothering you. List every single thing, no matter how small. Email Sarah about the report, pick up dry cleaning, prepare for Thursday's presentation. By writing these down, you are sending a powerful message to your brain. I see you, I have captured this. You no longer need to hold on to it for me. This act of externalizing your to-do list can create an immediate sense of relief. Your brain can relax its grip, trusting that these items are safely recorded and will be dealt with tomorrow. It frees up the mental energy that was being used to constantly remind you of these obligations. Next, move on to your worries and anxieties. Write down whatever is causing you stress. Maybe you are worried about a family member, anxious about a financial issue, or feeling insecure about your performance at work. Give these fears a voice on the page. You do not need to solve them. You do not need to analyze them. The simple act of naming them and writing them down reduces their power. Thoughts feel much bigger and scarier when they are abstract echoes in our minds. When you see them written in ink on a page, they often seem more manageable, more concrete, and less overwhelming. Finally, you can also use this space to capture any creative ideas or sudden insights that tend to pop up at night. The quiet of the evening can often be a fertile ground for new ideas, but if they arrive when you are trying to sleep, they can be just as disruptive as worries. By jotting them down in your notebook, you ensure you will not forget them, allowing your mind to release them and return to a state of rest. This entire process might take only 10 or 15 minutes, but it is a profoundly grounding ritual. It is like tidying up your mental living room before you settle down for the night, creating a clear, calm space for sleep to enter. Our breath is one of the most powerful tools we possess for regulating our own nervous system, yet we so often overlook it. When we are anxious or overthinking, our breathing tends to become shallow, rapid, and irregular. This pattern of breathing sends a signal to our brain that we are in danger, keeping the stress response activated. By consciously changing our breathing pattern, we can send a different signal, a signal of safety and calm, that directly counteracts the body's stress response. This is not just a psychological trick, it is a physiological one. Let's explore two simple breathing techniques that can guide you into a state of deep relaxation. The first technique is called box breathing. It is a wonderfully simple yet incredibly effective method used by everyone from Navy SEALs to yoga practitioners to manage stress. The practice is as straightforward as its name suggests. You visualize breathing around the four sides of a box. Find a comfortable position, either sitting or lying down. Gently close your eyes and exhale all the air from your lungs. Now inhale slowly through your nose to a count of 4. Then, hold your breath for a count of 4. Next, exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 4. And finally, hold your breath again at the bottom for a count of 4. That is one cycle. Repeat this for several minutes, focusing only on the count and the sensation of the breath. The second technique is the 4-7-8 breath, developed by Dr. Andrew Weil. This practice is known as a natural tranquilizer for the nervous system and can be particularly effective for inducing sleep. To begin, place the tip of your tongue against the ridge of tissue just behind your upper front teeth and keep it there through the entire exercise. Exhale completely through your mouth, making a whoosh sound. Now close your mouth and inhale quietly through your nose to a mental count of 4. Hold your breath for a count of 7. Then, exhale completely through your mouth, making that whoosh sound again, to a count of 8. This completes one breath. Inhale again and repeat the cycle 3 more times for a total of 4 breaths. Both of these techniques work by engaging your parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for your body's rest and digest response. The slow, controlled nature of the breathing lowers your heart rate, reduces your blood pressure, and tells your overactive mind that it is safe to power down. The counting aspect provides a gentle point of focus, giving your mind something simple to do other than worry. Instead of getting lost in a spiral of thoughts, you anchor yourself in the present moment with the simple, life-affirming rhythm of your own breath. Choose the one that feels most comfortable to you and practice it with kindness and patience. Sometimes our minds are just too full of words and worries for breathing alone to quiet them. In these moments, we can actually use the power of our imagination to guide us to a place of peace. Visualization is, a form of gentle mental escape. It works by engaging your senses in an imagined scenario, which helps redirect your focus away from anxious thoughts and toward a calm, pleasant experience. By creating a vivid mental sanctuary, you can evoke the same feelings of relaxation in your body as you would if you were actually there. This technique allows you to create a state of inner tranquility, no matter what might be happening in your mind. Begin by finding a comfortable position in your bed. Just take a few slow, deep breaths to signal to your body that it is time to relax. Now close your eyes and bring to mind a place where you feel completely safe, peaceful, and at ease. This can be a real place you have visited, or a place you create entirely in your imagination. It could be a secluded beach at sunset, a quiet forest glade with dappled sunlight, a cozy cabin with a crackling fireplace, or even a soft, fluffy cloud floating through a clear blue sky. The specific place does not matter as much as the feeling it evokes within you. Once you have your place in mind, begin to engage all of your senses to make it as real as possible. What do you see? Notice the colors, the light, the shapes around you. If you are on a beach, see the gentle waves lapping at the shore and the soft orange glow of the setting sun on the water. What do you hear? Listen for the sound of the waves, the call of a distant seagull, or the gentle rustle of palm leaves in the breeze. What do you feel? Feel the warmth of the sun on your skin, the soft sand beneath your feet, the gentle breeze cooling your face. What do you smell? Inhale the clean, salty air of the ocean. As you immerse yourself in this peaceful scene, allow the feelings of calm and safety to wash over you. Spend as much time here as you need, exploring your sanctuary and soaking in its tranquility. If distracting thoughts arise, simply acknowledge them without judgment and gently guide your attention back to one of the sensory details of your peaceful place. This is not about forcing thoughts away. It is about choosing to place your focus somewhere more soothing. This practice not only distracts your mind from its worries, but also trains it to associate bedtime with feelings of calm, safety, and deep relaxation. Our brains really love routine. A consistent sequence of actions before bed can act as a powerful cue, signaling to your mind and body that the day is ending and it is time to prepare for sleep. Creating a pre-sleep ritual does not have to be complicated or time-consuming. The goal is just to create a gentle transition from the busyness of your day to the quiet of the night. Think of it as a buffer zone, a sacred space of time dedicated to winding down. This routine helps to disconnect you from the sources of stress and stimulation that keep your mind racing, and helps you cultivate an atmosphere of tranquility. The first and perhaps most crucial step in this routine is to power down your screens. The blue light emitted by phones, tablets, and computers has been shown to suppress the production of melatonin, the hormone that regulates your sleep-wake cycle. Beyond the blue light, the content we consume on these devices, work emails, social media feeds, breaking news, is often designed to be stimulating and engaging, which is the exact opposite of what your brain needs before bed. Make a commitment to put all screens away at least 1 hour before you intend to sleep. This single change can have a profound impact on your ability to fall asleep. During this screen-free hour, introduce some gentle, calming physical activities. This could be a few minutes of light stretching to release any physical tension you are holding in your body from the day. Focus on areas like your neck, shoulders, and lower back. The movements should be slow, mindful, and gentle, nothing that will raise your heart rate. The intention is to connect with your body in a kind and soothing way, helping to ease the transition from a state of mental activity to a state of physical rest. This physical release can create a corresponding mental release, letting go of the day's stresses. Finally, engage your other senses to create a calming atmosphere. Consider brewing a cup of caffeine-free herbal tea, such as chamomile, lavender, or peppermint. The warmth of the mug in your hands and the gentle aroma can be incredibly soothing. You could also use calming scents in your bedroom through an essential oil diffuser or a pillow spray. Scents like lavender, bergamot, and sandalwood are well known for their relaxing properties. Combining these elements, turning off screens, gentle movement, and calming scents or tastes, creates a multi-sensory signal to your brain that says, "It is safe. It is time to rest now." Even with the best routine, there will be nights when worries still manage to creep in. For these moments, it is helpful to have a few simple mind tricks up your sleeve. These are not about fighting your thoughts, but about changing your relationship with them. They are quick, in-the-moment techniques you can use while lying in bed to disarm anxious thoughts and prevent them from spiraling out of control. Think of these as your mental first aid kit for overthinking, ready to be deployed whenever you need them to create a little bit of space and peace. The first trick is to simply label your thoughts. When a worry pops into your head, instead of getting caught up in its story, mentally step back and label it. You can say to yourself, that is a thought about work, or here is a worrying thought, or even just thinking. By labeling the thought, you are creating a separation between you, the observer, and the thought itself. You are recognizing it as a transient mental event rather than an absolute truth. This simple act of naming it reduces its emotional charge and its power over you. It reminds you that you are not your thoughts, you are the one who is aware of them. The second trick is the 5-minute rule. When a persistent worry just will not let go, make a deal with yourself. Give yourself exactly 5 minutes to worry about it as much as you possibly can. Set a mental timer and let your mind go. But here is the key. When the 5 minutes are up, you must consciously and deliberately let it go for the night. This technique works because it acknowledges the worry instead of resisting it, which often makes it stronger. By giving it a contained, specific time slot, you satisfy your brain's urge to chew on the problem, making it easier to release it afterward, and move on to a more peaceful state. The final trick is to schedule your worry time. When a concern arises, especially one that feels important but cannot be solved at midnight, gently tell yourself, "Thank you for the reminder, mind. This is an important issue, and I will give it my full attention tomorrow at 10 a.m. You can even physically write it down in your brain dump notebook as an appointment. This act of postponing your worry is surprisingly effective. It reassures the anxious part of your brain that the issue will not be forgotten. It validates the concern while firmly establishing that now is not the time to deal with it. Now is the time for rest. We have journeyed together through the landscape of the midnight mind, from understanding why it races to exploring the gentle paths that can lead it back to peace. We have seen that overthinking at night is not a personal failing but a common human experience, a result of how our brains are wired to process, plan, and protect. It is the echo of a busy day, the work of our default mode network, and the voice of our anxieties given a stage in the quiet of the night. But as we have discovered, we are not powerless. We have the tools to transform our relationship with our thoughts and create the conditions for deep, restorative sleep. We have explored the clarifying power of a brain dump, the simple act of externalizing our worries to free our minds. We have learned to harness the profound, calming influence of our own breath through techniques like box breathing and the 4-7-8 method, speaking directly to our nervous system in the language of safety. We have painted pictures of peace in our mind's eye with visualization, creating sanctuaries of calm we can retreat to at any moment. And we have laid the foundation for tranquility with a simple pre-sleep routine, gently signaling to our entire being that it is time to wind down and let go of the day. Remember the simple mind tricks we shared? Labeling your thoughts to create distance, using the 5-minute rule to contain a worry, and scheduling your concerns for another time to grant yourself permission to rest now. These are not magic spells, but practices. Like any skill, they become more effective with patience and consistency. Be kind to yourself on this journey. Some nights will be easier than others. The goal is not to have a perfectly empty mind. That is impossible. The goal is to learn how to not get swept away by the currents of your thoughts, to find your anchor in the present moment. So tonight, as you prepare for bed, I invite you to choose just one of these techniques to try. Perhaps you will spend 10 minutes with a notebook, letting your thoughts flow onto the page. Maybe you will simply practice a few rounds of box breathing as you lie in the dark, or perhaps you will take a mental trip to your peaceful place. Which practice feels most inviting to you right now? Choose one, and approach it with curiosity and compassion. Your journey to more peaceful nights begins with a single, gentle step. I would love to hear about your experiences, so feel free to share in the comments below, and subscribe for more guidance on living a more purposeful and peaceful life.